What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? This is Mike coming back at you with another video. I am making this video. It's been a while since I made one, but I am wanting to talk about what I've been doing for the past 8 or 9 months since last time I made a video. First video I made, I talked about Western Express. First company I went to out of school. Awful company. Stay away from it. There's a lot of videos out there about Western Express, and as you know, basically, a lot of stuff they talk about, I watch them, I laugh, because it's the same thing I went through. Can't get no help on weekends. Just bad dispatcher relationships, just everything. Everything's bad there. And they do that because they know they're a second chance company. Coming out of school, I wasn't 100% sure what that was. I mean, I heard the term, didn't think much about it. Basically, and it's a good company for people that have stuff on the records and just trying to get into the business. And even then, a lot of those people, they don't stay very long. They'll come in, they'll get the experience and show, hey, I had stuff in my past, I'm better now, I can do this, and then they go to a different company. And after Western Express, like I said, I was only there for a few weeks. I went out on the road with my trainer. We got into it. I had him drop me off at a different terminal. I was ready to leave the company. They called me and said, hey, no, we got a truck for you, come on back. So I came on back and they put me in a truck. Went out for a couple weeks, went through the same crap that everybody else has been going through. So I ended up leaving and I went to Schneider. Schneider is a great company. I was there for quite a while. Quite a while in trucking terms, 7 or 8 months. Was it even that long? Yeah, 6 or 7 months I was there. Schneider's really big on safety, and they do safety meetings every month. First of the month, you got like a certain amount of time. You got to tune in and watch this safety video, whatever the topic is that month. So they're really big on that. If you have any kind of incidents out there, like hit a cone or something, they're gonna make you swerve too much or turn too sharp or brake too fast. You have to call in to a safety. I can't remember what they call these people. They're safety coordinators, whatever. And you got to call in and explain yourself. Why did you turn your wheel so sharp, or why did you have to brake so fast? Or you're not watching what's in front of you. Blah blah blah. So they're really big on safety, which is not a bad thing, especially for new drivers. It teaches you things you should be looking out for as you go forward. So like I said, Schneider's a great company. When I went there, I was doing regional Northeast, I would not do New York. I did go to Jersey and New York one time with Schneider. I did a lot more with Western. With Schneider, I only went up there like once or twice. I think twice to Jersey, once to New York. But mostly I stayed in Ohio, Pennsylvania. Occasionally I would go over to Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, up through there. Usually I didn't go no lower to Alabama and over to Georgia, then back up, and that was kind of like my area that I worked. But mainly it was Ohio. A lot of work coming out of Ohio. So did that for a while. The money wasn't great. I mean, it's 40. I want to say it was 48 cents a mile. I think it started out 46, but I got bonus cents for fuel maintenance and just certain things, not having any accidents and stuff. So whenever you do great, you can get up to like 4 cents extra for great driving. So I think I went from 44 to 48 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But even then, I just felt that wasn't, it wasn't enough money for what I needed to bring home. For some people, it's great. I got bills at home I got to pay, and that just wasn't cutting it for me. So I tried to look into different accounts, dedicated accounts. Couldn't find anything that was in my area that was kind of what I was looking for. I know they said Target paid very well, but I lived right outside the Target range. So there wasn't a lot of dedicated accounts in my area that would get me off this regional account. So for that reason, I ended up leaving. And I thought long and hard about it, but I left and I went to the company I'm at now. So this is a question a lot of people have been asking me and sending me questions like, where are you doing now? Where are you at? And this is where I'm at now since I left Schneider. And with, you can't read that, that's US Express. So I've been with US Express since February, March, somewhere around there, I believe. And I came on board doing a dedicated account for Dollar Tree. And I've seen the videos of Dollar Tree and stuff. I'm not scared of hard work or anything. I didn't want to do Dollar General because I've seen the Dollar General stores and I've seen those parking lots, and it's just, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation. I mean, I've seen a lot of those lots. They're small. You got blindside back. You got cars in the lot. You got poles out there. You're trying to avoid these little bitty lots. It's like those lots are not made for big trucks, and Dollar General don't care. They can say, okay, well, we build more stores and we make them the same. So Dollar Tree have some locations like that, but a lot of Dollar Trees, if you notice, are in strip malls. And a lot of times they're next to like a Walmart or a Target or something like that. But there are some individual locations and stuff. And some of my first couple ones were the individual ones. But I did the Dollar Tree account, and I ended up leaving Dollar Tree. Like I said, it was my first experience with US Express. I left Dollar Tree account because it wasn't the people that from US Express, but it was the Dollar Tree people. Anybody, you've seen the videos, you go out, normally you got like 3 stores on your truck, and you go to store 1, store 2, store 3. You gotta go in order because they got the truck loaded like that. But there was a couple times I had to turn around and go back to my location, because when you get to the guard gate, that's when you first get your lock off your trailer. So all your rollers and stuff like that you have to do the account on, you have to actually load them under your trailer. You have to use your straps and rig up something. So this just takes extra time. You got to load up this, because not everybody has a little holder on the back of the tractor. So you got to find a way to get to the gate with your rollers and your crates and all that stuff that you need to put in your truck. So then we get to the guard gate. They open, the guard takes the padlock off the trailer, because Dollar Tree does not trust truck drivers with their $1 supplies and stuff, so that they don't trust us. So anyway, the trailer's a lock, so you get there, the guard takes the lock off, and then at that point you put your rollers and your crates and all that stuff in the back of your trailer. Well, a couple times I get up there and the truck is so full, it's like overflowing, and you have nowhere to put your rollers. You have to go back up to the dock and have them come to the dock and rearrange everything so you can get your rollers on the trailer. And it's just, it'll be another hour or two. You already spent hours getting your rollers under the trailer and all this stuff. So, then a couple times I got hit in the head by stuff where they just kind of throw stuff up in the truck. You end up rolling stuff down. You get to the location, it's supposed to have like 3 or 4 people on their end helping. You get there, it'll be like 1 person, sometimes maybe 2 people. So something that's supposed to take maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, ends up taking like 4 or 5. Because Dollar Tree does not pay people very well, and people quitting. And at that time, people were still getting the $600 check from the government. So they said, hey, well, I'll go do this if I can get $600 sitting at home. So they were short of help, and I'm in there trying to get stuff thrown off. Got hit a couple times, like I said, where they throw stuff on top of the boxes. And the last load I went out on, I actually had a can of something, I can't remember what it was, fell down and hit me right in the temple, about knocked me down. I mean, I got a little woozy for a second. The guy even asked me if I was all right, because I had a little cut right there. And at that point I said, you know what, I'm done with this account. So I thought about leaving US Express altogether. I did find another account, but I wasn't going to go back there. And that was the thing. They wanted you to work that account until the next account you choose comes open. And I didn't want to go back there. I was that frustrated and upset with it. So they had me help out on the Target account. So I did Target for a while, and I did good on Target. And the Target account actually wanted me to come and do their account full time, even though I wasn't in the Target living area. I was a little ways out, but I was doing a good job of running these loads, getting there on time, getting the drop, getting back. Had no complaints from the locations and stuff, the customers. So he tried to get me to come on the account full time, and I declined because we discussed money, and it was actually less than I was making at Schneider. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And I said, Schneider, the Target account at Schneider, they pay more than the US Express account at Schneider, at Target. So, go figure. So I'm talking about all these different US Express accounts, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I really enjoy working here. You don't see a lot of videos about US Express much anymore. I saw some in the past. Not a lot, much more about US Express. You see something about Variant now, which is the sister company that US Express started. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about US Express. But yeah, after that account, I went to a Whirlpool account, which was running from up in Ohio and running down to North Carolina, which is where I live, running to Charlotte and Raleigh and different areas throughout North Carolina. And those accounts, you get that load that day, you got to run it. You got to make it the next day. There ain't no cruising along, whatever. You got to drive through the night and be there by the time you're supposed to get there in the morning. They're on a time crunch. If you don't make the time crunch, they'll take you off the account. So I ran that account. It was fine. The only issues I really had that account, the people that work that account are awesome. Most of the people I have worked with US Express on the dispatch side or driver leader, whatever term you want to use, they've been great. So you hear horror stories, especially Western Express. They just they treat you like crap over there. But the people here have been great. All the different accounts I worked on, you get different people when you go to different accounts. But with Whirlpool, when I came back from home, way at work, I'll drop a load off and I'll keep the trailer, and then I got paid to bring the trailer back up to Ohio after my home time. You go home every week. The issue I had was a lot of times when I came back and dropped the trailer off, I might sit another day trying to get a load out. I say, hey, I'm back. Can I get a load? And sometimes they'll take a day. So now, I said, that's time I could have been at home. I'm sitting up here not making any money because at that point I'm still, making, I don't remember what the pay was, but it was better than the other accounts. Well, it wasn't better than Dollar Tree, but that was a lot of work involved. But as far as Target and the other accounts, it paid okay, but if you ain't moving, you ain't making no money, as they like to say. So, one second. After the Target account, I got to thinking. The Whirlpool account. One thing I didn't want to do when I first came into this business, and this is one of the things I wanted to hit on. I should have broke this up in different videos, but lease purchase. A lot of people come out of school, I'm going to get my own truck, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Dude, make sure we like the job first. Make sure people got here and say, oh man, this is not for me. I'm out here all the time, I'm always in this truck. I didn't know I was claustrophobic, now I know. Whatever the thing may be. And I didn't want to do that. I do have family that's been in trucking, so I've been around it my whole life. I got uncles and cousins, and I got married last year. Well, it's 2023 now, so I got married in 2021. The end of 2021. So now I have a brother-in-law. He's a truck driver. He's an owner-operator. My uncles and cousins, they've all been owner-operators. I got another cousin that works the company. So I've been around it my whole life. So I know enough about it. But I want to find out for myself if owner-operator or something I want to do. And then I was like, what about lease purchase? You hear so many horror stories about lease purchase. I met a guy at a terminal back in August. I remember it was August the 3rd. And he showed me his pay stubs for the first of the year all the way till the end of July, because it was August 3rd. He showed me his, and he had grossed over 100,000. So I was like, this dude's gonna make over 200,000 this year, lease purchase. So at that point I said, yeah, this is something I definitely want to look into. I already submitted something for it, but at this point I tried to pressure it a little more. There was a little shortage on trailers. Well, the truck I took into the shop was getting an inspection done and had a lot of stuff need to get done. They said, you know what, we're gonna send you to Illinois and get you in your own truck. So they got me a rental car. I went up to Illinois, and they only had one. So if you didn't like it, then you go back to where you was at and wait for your truck to get done. But this was in 2022. This was in August. It was still August. I started lease purchase August the 10th is when I signed my lease contract. So that was August last year, 2022, and my truck is a 2020 Cascadia. great condition. I haven't any major issues with it. Small things, of course, but nothing major. In the state of North Carolina, your insurance for workers' comp is the highest in the country, or one of the highest anyway. I venture to say New York and California might be higher, but North Carolina is famous for having just high workers' comp insurance costs. My truck lease was $649. There's like a $10 fee for something. I can't even go through all the numbers right now. But altogether, every week, my cost for this truck is right around $910. I went over the road. I was going out for like 2 weeks at a time. I stayed normally down in going from North Carolina over to Texas, like Dallas, Fort Worth, areas like that. Every now and then they would send me up to Illinois, so Kansas somewhere. Then I go back down, back across, over to Georgia. Went to Florida a couple times. I usually stayed in that area, which was great because the gas in there is a lot cheaper. But I was getting paid $1 a mile, and after all the costs, even though I was getting the miles in, I was getting 3,000 whatever miles a week. After cost and fuel, I still wasn't bringing home what I wanted to bring to be gone from home that long. For a lot of people, it's great money. For me, being away from my family and the bills I have back at home, it just wasn't for me. So I was looking into other options, and I found out that there's an account, Lease Purchase, that paid percentage. So I put my name on a list. They don't have many percentage accounts for Lease Purchase. They have a lot of them if you're owner operator coming over to Xpress. If you're owner operator, you won't go over to Xpress. Hey, I'm gonna go over some of the numbers that you might like, and it might encourage you. But they have very limited percentage accounts. So you gotta go on a list, and the account I got on is they're very particular about who they bring on board, because you gotta have a great record. The client is very particular, very time sensitive stuff. I finally talked to the account manager. I was able to come on board, and now I'm on board, and I'm loving it. I run the account during the week. On the weekends, the companies that we run for aren't running, so I get to do other stuff on the weekends. All of it's percentage rate. Some things about Lease Purchase, other companies, you got to pay a trailer fee. There's no trailer fee here, not for this account anyway. Not saying there's not some on other accounts. On my account, there are none. I'm telling you my experience. There's no trailer fees. They do have the maintenance they take out every, I think it's like 9 cents a mile. They got some kind of security thing that's like 6 cents a mile that stops. Maintenance stops at 10,000. Security stops at 6,000. And those are great things to have, especially maintenance. I've gone to maintenance a couple times, and that has come in handy. I don't have to pay anything out of pocket. I'm loving this account. Been here I got this account in November. And just to give you an idea of where I'm at as a Lease Purchase, the $1 a mile wasn't a lot. I'm making not more than that now, but you got to keep in mind, from August 10th till November, I was doing $1 a mile, and then the percentage pay came like mid-November to the end of December, and in that amount of time, my gross pay was a little over $64,000. So there is money here. If I've been doing percentage that whole time, I would have probably been where the guy I met was right around the $100,000 range. Who knows? You can't really say, but the deal I got on Lease Purchase was I paid for 72 weeks, $649, so it's like $910 a week, and that is only for 72 weeks. So you do the math, that's a year and 4 months, maybe somewhere around there. So come around December of this coming up year, that time should be over with. Now at that point, this Lease Purchase did have a balloon payment. The remaining $54,000 I had to finance on my own somewhere else. But you manage your money, you do things right, you'll be able to get along, because the value of the truck is $91,000 and some change is what they had on the paperwork. So the cost I'm paying is I think it was like 98, 99,000, which, you know, there's always an increase. Whether you buy a car, you buy, you know, personal vehicle, there's always a higher rate than what the actual value is. That's how they make their money. So the value of this truck was just over 91,000, and the cost they're charged me is 99,000. The first half of it, the 40, I think I want to say it's 40 something thousand. You know, they're not charging interest on it. That's just, I got to pay that much on it. And then the last part, the 50 some thousand, was going to have interest depending on where I financed it at. So overall, I'm still getting a pretty good deal for the truck, being a 2020. Like I said, I haven't had much issues. Take good care of it, you know. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing lease purchase. I'm still doing it. A lot of people, you know, ask questions about lease purchase, different companies. I hear horror stories about other companies like Ego. You know these places they're charging a $1,000 truck payment a week. Guys, all of my insurance and everything is under $910 a week. I went home the whole week of Christmas, and I came back. I had to issue my truck when a glad hand broke, so I had to get a glad hand fixed. Then I had to pick up the trailer that the tandems were messed up on, so I spent some time waiting on roadside when I first came back. Came back on Tuesday, and this load I got here, I've been sitting up here waiting because my load is for tomorrow, Wednesday morning, and I've been up here since Monday, but because of the holidays, they weren't open. I had the option to drop in a drop yard and try to find another load, but loads are scarce because of the holidays. So I said, no, if I drop at a drop yard, I'm gonna lose 300 some bucks for the mileage and for the amount of miles it is and the fuel that they pay. So I would be losing right around 300 some bucks. This load pays $2.52 a mile. So instead of losing that 300 bucks and trying to find something else, I said, no, you know what? I'll go ahead and keep the load. I'll take it in Wednesday. So that way I'm doing a 34-hour reset right now. But with that being said, I ran 3 loads this week, and these 3 loads, I won't get my information until tomorrow night or Thursday morning, and I should have enough to cover my expenses from last week when I didn't work, because you know, even though you don't work, you still have those expenses. I should have enough to cover those expenses, and because my pay this last thing, I didn't get a check because I didn't work, and then all my expenses this week, I should be enough to cover both weeks, and maybe even have a little more left over. I don't know yet. Depends on the fuel. I have to do all the math. I haven't done all that yet. So yeah, and if I've been doing company or the dollar a mile, it wouldn't be that way. I'd be driving 2 weeks just to try to make up for that week that you missed. And Xpress, they have it where you can divide it out over weeks. I just want to go ahead and pay it, get over with. So just go take it all out. You know, I've been good at saving my money, budgeting my money, so I have money just to buy myself food and all that stuff. So, but yes, if you guys are looking about lease purchase, I hear the horror stories. Not all companies are bad. You just got to do your research, figure out what's best for you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll be more than happy answering questions about lease purchase, about US Express, or about trucking in general. Just feel free to ask me anything you want to ask. And sorry this video went long. I see it's been like 23 minutes, almost 24 minutes. So it has some other things I was going to hit on about an accident I was in. A guy hit me and all that stuff. But I'll cover that some other time. I'll do another different video about that. About people not knowing how to back. And some tips I have for backing. But we'll cover that later. At that point, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. It's been 24 minutes now. I don't want to run long and get people bored. But definitely, if you have any questions, you know, feel free to ask. You know, like the video. I'm gonna post it on YouTube. But yeah, guys, if you have any questions, hit me up. My name's Mike. I'll be glad to answer anything you have. Other than that, you guys have a good night. Be safe, and I'll talk to you guys later.